Welcome to the Man of War podcast. My name is Rafa Conde, and of course, I am a man on a mission here to transform you into a modern day warrior, into a warrior king, a man of action, a man who gets stronger in body, mind, and spirit, who wants to be a better father, husband, leader, visionary. Oh boy, do we need these warrior minded men in our society nowadays, now more than ever. All right, listen. I'm going to jump into this rather quickly because I want to disseminate this message, something that has been bothering me for quite a while. All right. And this is something that's close to my heart because I believe that every man needs to find his purpose, his reason why. And unfortunately, there are so many men out there, truly, who walk around like zombies. And it's difficult for me as a leader of a program, of an organization that builds men, to see these other men who are just weak-minded and they're soft and they lack vision, they lack a mission. Really, they lack that fire in their gut. What I want to bring to the table here today is really very simple. All right. First and foremost, if you don't have a purpose, and you don't have a reason why, we're already starting in a very bad place. So I want you to just kind of lean back, and as you listen to this, or you're watching this on YouTube, or you have your earphones on and you're working out, or whatever you're doing right now, I want you to truly ask yourself, why do you exist in this planet? What is your reason? Because I'm a big believer that every man has a reason why. Every one of us are here in this planet to do something special, to do something impactful, but yet I don't see it. There are so many empty men walking around doing nothing but sucking oxygen all day long. And I know you know them too. All right. I know because I get emails and DMs from all sorts of individuals telling me, hey, you know what? I just can't do this anymore. Everywhere you look, left and right, up and down, there's weak, soft men in our society. Well, I'm going to tell you this right off the bat. First, you got to figure out a way to step back. You got to give yourself some time. You know, I'm a big believer that sometimes it takes you going out there and maybe taking a day or two just to yourself, go to a hotel room, go in maybe a place where you and maybe your son or, a loved one could go and just chill with absolutely no distractions. Time for yourself to be able to figure out what you're doing in life, how you got there, and really what you want to do for the rest of your life. I believe that there's a lot of men out there who are working endless jobs that they're totally unhappy with. I believe that there's men out there who are constantly telling themselves, yes, this is what I want to do, but the reality is that it's not what they want to do, right? They look at themselves and eventually they start fading away from that. And they're like, man, no, this is no longer for me, right? This job is just beating me. It's just not the right thing. Maybe it's been time. Maybe you look back at time and say, man, it's been 10 years, 5 years that I've been doing this. I want to shift. I want to start a new chapter in my life. I want to be able to find my purpose. So it doesn't matter really how long it's been since you really looked in the mirror and were honest with yourself. There's always a starting point. And I encourage you guys to really look at this and say, you know what, today is going to be my starting point where I'm going to be truly honest with myself. And we see this in the crucible, right? We see a lot of men go through this Men of War crucible. And by the way, if you have not applied for this and you want to change your life and become part of an incredible, amazing group of men, a brotherhood truly in all facets of life, man, this is just an unbelievable experience. You need to look at it. You need to go research it. menofwarcrucible.com. That's MEN of warcrucible.com. All right. That's just a quick plug to that. But we see this in the Men of War Crucible all the time, where men come in, they just somehow are lost. But when they leave this 5-day experience, boom, they're changed. They just walk a little bit different. They carry themselves a little bit different. When their wives start reaching out to us and say, man, this, my husband, my fiance, he is completely different. We've had even some daughters reach out to us and say, my dad is completely different. He has meaning, he has purpose. And you see that. Because the most important thing a man has is purpose. And a lot of men live, and I'm going to tell you this straight up, a lot of men live with this, how do I say this? This way of lying to themselves. They live in this little bubble of just constant lying over and over again. And they build themselves up to soon fall and break and become nothing. And that's when they start walking around like zombies, when they become trolls, when they start hating on other people, because they're just miserable within themselves. All right. So with that said, all right, men need to start competing against one another. To fire that up, to fire their gut up, you got to start competing against other individuals. It's not just good enough to say, hey, I'm competing against myself. No, you got to go mano a mano against other men. All right, whatever it is, doesn't have to be necessarily from a physical perspective, even though I recommend it. You got to go down that road where you must, and I'm going to repeat this again, you must find a way to compete at a high level, because that's going to test your mettle. That is going to make you stronger. It's going to give you a stronger mindset. And then it's going to start helping you reevaluate where you stand and how you compare, how you stack up against other men, which is very important. It can be a very quick wake-up call for you. Now, what do I do to keep that fire burning? Well, first thing that I like to do is I like to visualize each day as war, battle, going into battle. I like to visualize myself as an ancient medieval warrior, as a commander, as a emperor, a king that's leading his troops to battle. But he is leading from the front. And leading from the front has many definitions. But I like to visualize it in my head where I'm going out there, getting my hands dirty every single day, and I'm taking these victories, and I'm winning, and I'm getting stronger, more confident, more resilient. It's easier for me to persevere through difficult times this way. And once I visualize this in my head and I structure my day and I have a mission, a course of action for that day, what happens next is that I start executing, winning my battles, winning. If I lose one, I learn from it, move on. It is what it is. You have to take your lumps. Your armor, as I always say, has to have dents in it, right? Because think of it, all right, a knight in shining armor, hell no. Your armor needs to be dense. It needs to be bruised up. It needs to be basically worn out, because you're out there pushing, grinding, growing. And if that's not the mentality you have, I don't care where you are in your life. Doesn't matter whether you're running a $500 million company or running a $500,000 company. The mentality needs to continue. You need to sharpen your blade. You need to sharpen that mindset, and you constantly need to be in a level where you're growing daily. And through these battles that you go through daily, man, I'm going to tell you, they're going to be very, very powerful because they will change the way you perceive yourself and the way you see others around you. There's going to be a sense of confidence, but also there's going to be a sense of respect because you're going to realize that other people may be going through battles similar to you, similar to your battles. So what do you do with that? Think about that for a second. What do you do with that information, knowing that someone is going through battles? Well, the way I look at it is, hell, if that person's persevering, if that person has a tenacity and they're pushing through, and I see a smile on their face and they're just living life no matter what, hell, man, okay, you can bet your ass that I'm going to do it too. So inspire yourself with others also. Look at others, read books, watch videos, listen to podcasts. It's all good as long as you are using that to motivate you and to help you be successful in your endeavors. All right, so let's talk a little bit about taking chances and taking the opportunity. All right, because what happens here is this. For us to reignite that fire, we need to jump on the opportunity. I like to say attack like a viper. When that opportunity starts coming around, or you start seeing that light at the end of the tunnel, or somehow you get an opportunity that knocks on your door, shit, you got to be able to attack it with everything in you. Do not let opportunities pass you by. If you do, you're going to lose. And what I mean by lose is you're going to lose that time because you never can get time back, right? You could never get time back. Ever, ever, ever. So seize the moment, attack with everything in you. You will be surprised how opportunities can shape your life. And when that is the case, when you seize that moment and you start seeing that your life changes because you seized that moment and you jumped on that opportunity, you'll never let another opportunity pass you by, without a doubt. Finally, I'm going to leave you with something that a lot of men don't like to do, or they don't know how to do it. And this is contrary, or contradicts some of the elements of being a quiet professional. And I hear that phrase pretty often. And this is something that in the business world, and as a warrior minded man who is building and having impact in our society, the way that marketing is, the way that marketing is required in every way, shape, or form if you're going to build a company, being a quiet professional is not necessarily the right thing. Sometimes you have to toot your own horn because you're going to be the person that toots his own horn the loudest. There is something said for every once in a while going out there and tooting your horn, showing people that what you have, that you believe in yourself, that you're confident enough, and that you are the best at whatever it is that you are doing, that you are the man for the job. A lot of men are scared out there. They're fearful to toot their own horn. They think that it's some type of, they put out negativity. Oh, you should never be talking about yourself. Well, in this day and age, in this market, you better be able to promote yourself. And what does that have anything to do with reigniting your fire? Well, I'm going to tell you. When you toot your own horn and you speak about yourself, as long as it's true, And as long as you truly believe it, that is very, very powerful. And it's going to ignite you. It's going to give you that fire. Because now, guess what happens? You've just told the world who you are, what you're about, and that you are the man. If you don't hold up your side of the bargain, what's going to happen? People are going to basically look at you to be a fraud. They're looking at you and they're saying, this guy is a fraud. This guy is not real. He is lying. He is not the individual that he says he is. He's full of crap. So by you tooting your own horn and putting it out there in the real world, now it's just going to make it that much more powerful for you to step up and start living that life and showing it and embracing it. Because at this moment in time, you have one life to give. And if you don't have that fire in your gut and you're not capable of building that fire by doing things that are outside the box, doing things that throw you into discomfort, doing things that are powerful and impactful, my brother, all I can tell you is this: you're going to continue going down the road you're going, and you are going to become a zombie. You're going to line yourself up with everybody else, like every other man. To stay away from mediocrity, you must go out there, put yourself in discomfort, put yourself in situations where you can win, but at the same time, they're not the easiest situations in life. Don't give yourself freaking candy, right? In other words, you don't want to give yourself soft things. You want to be able to give yourself something that is hard to chew, but it's attainable, it's doable. Start taking your baby steps first, then build from there. All right, guys, if you don't follow me on Instagram, please give me a shout there. Man of War with 2 R's. Of course, our new YouTube page, youtube.com/Man of War. Exclusive content. There's a brand new page, so we're building it fast. We got some great content in there. And of course, in the end of the day, Facebook, The Real Man of War, you can find us there also. Until next time, your life may be challenging and full of dangers, but never retreat. Your last battle may be your greatest victory. God bless.